What's up? Hello. So I'm doing a quick little tag video today. We've got, I'm gonna go a little bit more. There we go. We got 20 questions. This is the 20 questions book tag. I saw this first on Donna Marie Reed's channel. And we're just gonna go through it. So the first question is, how many books is too many books in a book series? And the answer is there isn't. There is not an amount of books that's too many books in a book series. I love a long series. I do. I love, like the Gone series, the Enemy series, the Dark Tower. I've written a few long series. I love a long series. There are never too many books in a book series. Two, how do you feel about cliffhangers? They're a thing. They happen. I've written a few. Have I? I guess sort of. I've sort of written a few. They can be fun. I can appreciate them. And honestly, they do not make me read the next book faster. Just no matter how cliffhangery the end of a book is, I am going to probably wait several years before I read the next book in a series, so it doesn't really matter. Three, hardcover or paperback. Been growing up, I've been getting into the hardcovers and the fact that those are the only books that I'll actually keep on my shelves, just because I'm like, I have limited space, so I want them to look nice. I don't care when it comes to the reading experience, does not matter to me, but it's hardcover at this point. Favorite book is Glamorama by Brady Snellis. Least favorite book, Call of the Cherokee by F. Gardner. I have a spreadsheet for this, so I have this memorized. Love triangles, yes or no? They're fine. I'm okay with it. It doesn't matter. I can enjoy a love triangle, but a lot of times they're not that good, and most of the time they're just a love angle. They're not a triangle, unless the boys like each other too. The most recent book you just couldn't finish. I always finish my books eventually. I will say I'm currently slogging my way through Lair of the Eldritch Dark and the Dictionary of Literary Terms and Literary Theory, but that just means I have them split up and I read them as I'm reading other books. But I will finish them, and I will finish every book. I do not believe in DNFing. A book you're currently reading. What I'm currently reading right now is The Running Man by Stephen King, so that's why it's right on my desk. So I'm, as I'm reading right now. It's a reread. I'm like 60 pages in. It's fun time. Last book you recommended to someone, I think. Well, I mean, I did just go to an author fair where I was selling my own books. So, you know. But other than that, I recommended the Dark Olympus series by Katie Robert. I recommended the the Indian Light trilogy by Stephen Graham Jones recently. I recommended the Animorphs series to a third grader. That's what I did. Um, Oldest book you've read, probably the Iliad by Homer, because that's pretty old. The newest book you've read, fucking hell. I've read a lot of 2024 releases this year. I suppose you could talk about some New Yorkers that I've read recently that would technically be the newest. Uh, Other than that, I don't, like I said, I don't keep up with new releases. Have I read anything recently that's like brand new? I don't think so. I really don't. Multicos no Zakuken 15 is fairly new, I think. Favorite author, I gotta say it's probably still Stephen King. I could probably still say it's Stephen King. But I also think that, Brady Snellis has been killing it recently. 2023 and 2022, he had my favorite book of the year. Frederick Backman's pretty great. Stephen Graham Jones, wonderful time. So probably any one of those, but I'd probably still say Stephen King. Buying books or borrowing books, I buy them. I buy them. I buy too many of them. A book you dislike that everyone else seems to love. God, man, I don't know. I'm actually pretty easy to please. I guess I don't dislike it, but when it comes to Brady Snellis, everybody fawns over Less Than Zero, and I read it. I read The Shards and then I read Less Than Zero, and Less Than Zero and The Shards are kind of doing the same thing in a different way. They're both Brady Snellis trying to make sense of his youth. But The Shards is so much better done. So I was just read Less Than Zero, like, what the hell is this? Where's the serial killer? So I guess, but like I said, I didn't dislike that. It was fine. It was. I think I even gave it 4.5 stars. But it was just my least favorite Bryce Snell's book. I don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of Aaron Beauregard or Eric LaRocca, who are both pretty big in horror, especially extreme horror. But I think extreme horror in general is pretty bad. So I could say either one of those. I suppose. Bookmarks or dog ears. I have a lot of bookmarks, but if I need to dog ear, I will. Uh, Book you can always reread. Oh, I could reread any book all the time. I read books all the time. But I loved my reread of Glamorama that I did this year. I've reread The Long Walk more times than I can count. Same with It, The Stand, a lot of Stephen King books I've reread a million times. I've read Beartown quite a few times. Lord of the Flies, oh my god, I love Lord of the Flies. I could reread that over and over again. Can you read while hearing music? Yes. One point of view or multiple point of views? It depends on the book. I enjoy multiple point of view series. A lot of series that I enjoy have multiple point of views, but I can really appreciate the intimacy of being sunk in like a one point of view situation. Do you read a book in one sitting over multiple days? It depends on the book. I've done both. And who do you tag? Nobody. That is all. Talk to you later and goodbye.